I am God's baby girl, a child of God. I am a heir of God and joint heirs with Christ. I am raised together with Christ and I sit in heavenly places in Christ Jesus. I sit far above principalities and powers. I am complete in Him, and my body is the temple of the Holy Ghost. I am made a king and a priest unto God, and I am the daughter of the King. Welcome to the King's Daughters podcast. So, hello everybody, welcome to another, say hello everybody, or hello people of the King's Daughters podcast. Welcome to another episode of the King's Daughters pod. How are we doing? How is life doing you? How is everything going? As I always ask. So, back to our topic of discussion, or not even back, we don't go anywhere. What's the topic of discussion today or conversation? We're going to be talking about godly friendships, and I'm not going to be doing this alone. Can't be talking godly friendships and you'll be alone. But anyways, so I have someone here with me on the podcast. Her name is I don't know if I say her name, or maybe she should just introduce herself because she hear her voice. But she said I should know why now, so I'll just be simple and short. Her name is I'll say her name, then you hear her voice. Her name is Deborah and I. She's a podcaster too. Her podcast, the name of her podcast is Baby Girl of God podcast. I see people have already heard Baby. As I've said, we don't used to bring anyhow people here. We bring people. So because I don't want to do too much, so let me just over to you.
All right, good day everyone. I guess I'm Deborah and I said, and I'm really excited to be on this podcast episode discussing godly friendship with her.
I'm even excited that she's on this podcast. Okay, so we are talking about godly friendships and the need to have godly friendships and why godly friendships is important actually, because in the space of us trying to have the right identity, trying to work in purpose, we all need company. The Bible says that two people cannot be alone. I mean, if one person should know, it's not good. But that is the marriage. But anyway, you guys get my point that you need company in life, basically. And it's also important to know that your friends also determine. There's one thing they used to tell us in primary school, that your friend is who you are. There's one thing you say, that show me your friend.
I'll tell you
who you are. Yes, exactly. I just remembered. So that is one of the things we'll be talking about. So as we try to always put definitions to things. So what is godly friendship to you? It's godly friendship, not just friendship. So there's God inside the friendship. Yeah, exactly. Just put that.
I think I also like to echo that there's God inside the friendship.
There's God in the friendship.
So friendship is really the coming together of maybe two or more people that really care about one another and are doing life with one another, either for a period of time or for a longer period of time again. Yeah. But then godly friendship means that as individuals, you are people that love and honor God. Yeah. And so that reflects in your friendship. So it's not exactly sometimes that you just you people might just come together for the most random reasons. Mm-hmm. And in coming together, you now come to see that this is a person that values God and honors Him and loves Him and is seeking to build a relationship with Him. And so I am also like that. Yes. So that makes it a godly friendship. Yes. I think that's a good definition.
But I actually like the definition. It's there for a period of time, because it took me a while to actually accept that period of time. Because I thought friendship for life. But after a while, growing up or entering into, I don't know how to categorize it, but I had to understand for a while that friendships are not going to be forever. Or there are some friendships that are not going to be for the period of time you think is going to be for a short period of time. And I think also understand, as I said, when you understand that we have our friendship is for personal human interaction reasons, but also God is inside. There's also something that also Okay, there's also something that also spurs you on to always want to be like together. You know, like when you guys have the same values and the same ideologies about stuff, there's always something that would like, and God is inside again. It will be like everything's always like, let's say, on point. Well, hey. Okay, so yes, Asha has already defined godly friendships. So were you always a person that always had like godly friends around, or there was a time like you did not, it's not like they were bad people, but they were not just people that supported your, let's say, your spiritual reality? I think,
to be honest, I can't think of a time where I was not surrounded by
like godly people
in that sense. Because, like, where do I want to even see the ungodly people? No. Like, in primary school, I don't really remember. Yeah, but then there were just these two friends. We're not exactly close because we really did not spend as much time together. So I think that when I think about my friendship, maybe I can think of primary 5 upward. And in primary 5, I was new to the school, new to the state, new to the new everywhere. So I don't even think that I really had any very close friend like that. Everybody, and we're quite a small class, so everybody just more like we're together. So say GS1. Okay, let me do a small shout out to Esther maybe at this point, because she was like that friend that I made in GS1 to start to, I think there was Favor too. And I think that there is a level to which when you treasure God and you value God, it determines the kind of people that come around you.
Yeah.
And even if you have people that do not exactly treasure God, they can see from your lifestyle that you honor God, and then there are some things that they know to not bring to your side in that sense.
Because they know.
I remember maybe in GS3, there was one day we were talking about God or something about God. I don't know, but I just know it was more like maybe a significant spiritual discussion of some sort. And a couple of people came together and they were talking and all of that. But I don't think that I've ever had friends that were bad influence in my life. And of course, your parents are always telling you this one, that one, that one.
Don't go with that.
They know you're a friend. So it's just not... I feel like maybe it's more of a thing of I did not have the opportunity to. And when I had the opportunity to, I was already wise enough to realize that it's really not worth it.
At all. Okay, actually, one question just dropped in my. Have you ever had to let go of like a friendship because it was not like in line with what you now believed in or what you believe in? Like okay, you just had to like let the friendship die a death that you know that it's me. Like I had to just let go of it. Have you ever been in that situation?
I don't think so, or I don't remember so, because for me, I'm not the kind of person that looks at this person and I'm like, oh, I want to be your friend. It's that we really just get to relate a lot.
Yes,
and we have more reasons to relate because we have maybe more stuff that brings us together. And so I feel like for maybe any possible friendship that did not happen, I was not even conscious, because I feel like I joke that I just wake up one morning and discover that this person is my friend though. This person is my friend though. Like something like that. It's not a thing of like, I have the end in mind already. I feel like for most people that I relate to for a bit and I see that we do not exactly seem to share enough values. It's not a friendship breakup. It's that just, the friendship did not progress.
Yes.
So we are not
as close
as we could have been
if God was involved.
And if like you treasured God as much or something. And this is not to say that everybody that is not my friend knows not treasure God, because I mean, who am I? Like there are a lot of, like on the other hand, there are a lot of amazing people that treasure God, love God, and we are not exactly the best of friends
yes.
because God has how many children?
Yeah,
how many people can I be friends with? So there's that part too.
Yeah, actually, and also the part of okay, I don't think I've actually ever had to let go. It's only when we are growing up now. They say this girl is a bad girl. Don't work with her. Don't let her come to the house. Don't blah 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 blah. They give me all that information and all that talk, and I think I had to at some point not let go. I feel that there are some things.
It just happened.
It just happened. It just did not.
If I want to go to church and you don't want to go to church,
yes,
I'll go to church and leave.
Yes, exactly.
If I want to pray
and you are not exactly,
I'll leave you.
Yeah.
And I'll find people that want to pray.
Yeah, exactly.
Together with me,
exactly.
and we'll pray.
Exactly.
So it's not even hard.
Yeah, it's
really
not actually hard. It's actually not hard, but yeah, I understand that perspective. Okay, so there's this verse in the Bible, and I think that's where this episode actually came out from, about iron sharpening iron, and that's how a man is to his friend. So we all know that. I think I've said it before, that show me your friend, I'll tell you who your friend is. Has a
immeasurable impact
on what you are and how you become and every other thing. So there are friends that when you are friends with them, it's not like they were bad people, just like you are not desiring to be based on their perspective about life and stuff, you are just okay with where you were at the time. But maybe you now met some other person, and that person is always this, I must do this, always wanting to do something, and you are just what's this? But in a way, it's going to challenge you. So I know that there are people that come into our lives for a season, and okay, they serve purposes in our lives. So okay, has there been a time where maybe not the friendship died, or you just know okay, this person served a purpose in my life at the time that you guys were maybe very close, or you guys were friends, or you guys are still friends, but this person came to, you just are able to recognize that this person came to my life for this purpose? Or has there ever been any, or this person helped, there was a certain...
I think that I can point back to a particular time when a group of friends were of particular help to my academics, and that time I used to go to night class, and so I always went with them, and we're still friends to this day. But I'm particularly grateful for that period. It feels like they were the academic anchors of my life at that period, and without them, I'm not sure. I trust that God must have helped me some other way, but I'm just really grateful that the help came in such a way, more like I had a community to inspire me. I had people that I would always go to night class and see them. They always come to me to encourage me to go to night class on the days I don't want to, and even vice versa. We could discuss stuff together. I'm really grateful for that.
Yeah, I think I can even relate to that. It's still the same academic, because way before I was just whoa, please let me just do the one I can't do. I can't keep myself. Then I met these people. Almost every day, night class. They are always motivated, I'm why?
I think generally we need that, particularly maybe as medical students. Yes. It's quite a team.
Yeah.
Just that scene. And sometimes it's not even that they are your friends. Mm-hmm. There are people that I just see, and I see how committed they are. There are sometimes that I'm also motivated myself, and I'm the one motivating my friends. But then there are also days that I just see people, and I just admire their level of commitment
to academics.
And it just spurs me on. Maybe on a day that I'm I not kill anybody, nobody should kill me, and then I just see somebody trying to kill themselves.
Actively kill themselves.
And then they don't die.
They don't die. Yes.
But I think that analogy is something that also translates spiritually. When you go to class, or maybe for any sort of academic experience, and you see someone doing what you are extant to do, there's a way it spurs you on. So that is the way also spiritually. Say you don't want to go to church, and you see your friend going to church. Okay, for example, we have the same exams.
Yes.
This is even something that happened. So I have a couple of friends that they never do not go to church. Weekly services in particular, for example. So during our MB, For those that
are
for
not
those that are not
medically
medical students, okay,
inclined.
so MD is like a very major professional exam.
Yeah,
During
like
the MD
major promotional exam.
during the MB that we did, like the day before Moby, they went to church. Like, and I was still talking to them recently about how that single activity, it really did spur me on. So whenever I don't want to go to church or anything spiritual because of an exam, and I remember that, okay, these people have done it and
they did not die.
We all passed together for starters. And secondly, there's also just the truth of academics being quite an hindrance for a lot of people to their spiritual growth or their spiritual commitment, especially for medical students in particular. I'm a medical student, so I can only speak for myself.
I can only speak for myself. So in case, let's put it in your own context.
Yeah.
Simply put.
For different people, whatever it is that keeps you busy can also be a reason. So for me, I think that has been something that I have learned from the examples of maybe even seniors, people that are not exactly my friends too. When I see that, okay, we have exams, and I go to my friend's room and she's just spending time with the Lord, and I'm like, and maybe that day I woke up and I just said, good morning Jesus, please let's go to my books because exam is coming soon. There are some things that I'll just go back and just go and spend time in God's presence because I really don't have an excuse, especially when the person is your classmate. Like
you're facing the same thing. So what's your excuse?
What's your excuse?
What's actually your excuse, Gogo? There's actually like no definite excuse that you can actually like pinpoint because we're in the same class. We have the same exams.
So why is the same amount of material? Yes. You cannot say that this person is a junior, maybe this person is a senior. They are more. No,
you are equals on this thing. So there's no excuse for you to practically say I'm not going to. It's like that's why having friendships like this would also make up your environment in the long run. Like this is your environment where you see that there's something that you're not particularly serious about, but when you see how that person is serious about it, you're like, okay, I think I need to be serious about it. I have a friend too. She always wants to be early for anything. Like she just wants to be punctual. Like there is no way and me, it's not like I don't want to be punctual, but some things just end up that is there. But there's just it's not like I want to be there, just some things just end up happening and I don't get it. But this person, she always wants to be there early, and to be quite honest, it's not like I'm not trying to be. I'm actually working on it.
They'll just spoil you.
Always like want to be early. So she always wants to be early for everything, and like most times she will drag you. She'll tell you, okay, and we're even roommates. So she'll be like, okay, guys, wake up. Like she'll wake you up. Let's start preparing. And sometimes even in that, I'll still be late. But seeing that it's something that this is something you actually is like. If she wasn't there, I'll know.
And you won't feel bad about it.
Yes, you won't feel bad about it.
Speaking about it just reminded me of something that Pastor Rezim said in National Conference. Okay. Of when you live with a roommate that sprays, that's when you know that you don't have a sprayer.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that generally most times the spiritual environment is usually maybe church or something, and like you go there, and so when you come back to your house, there is no that spiritual environment as it were to see examples. But when you have friends like that, what they do is that they contextualize a lot of the things you are learning. So say you have a friend that prays a lot, so when you see the Bible verse or a sermon or anything about praying, you're not just thinking, what does it mean? You have like a living example of what it means to be committed to prayer.
And it's even because of the presence of that person that's why it will make you feel like I'm not doing enough. Like
and it spurs you.
Yes, it will it's always for you. So that's having the right people is very important, not just for spirituality. Yes, spirituality is very important, but just having the right people. Having the right people around you is like very, very important in not just like spiritually, as I said, but you just need to have the right people, even intellectually, like having like brainy people that always want to be like, okay, my sister had this girl in her class. That girl, she's always getting the class best, but she was like, let's say she gets like, let's say out of 70, she'll get like 60, 65. She will still be sad that she got 65. You think, babe, I had like 58, I'm okay.
Let's thank God.
But when you see her, you be like, why is your own too much? But like that's it's like I can also be like that person. So having those type of people around you, just to always like like to know that where I'm at is fine, but I can be better. So that's the kind of friendship we all want to have, or we should have, or we pray to God to have, or we hope to have, because it's something that always pushes you to be the best version of yourself. And as much as you want to have friends like that, be that friend.
Yeah.
Be that friend.
Because the truth is that, and I think that this is even a point that is also important. We said godly friendship is when the two people have God in their own life and then navigate. So if you don't have God in your own life, your own friendship cannot be godly. You will be the ungodly one among the godly friendship. Yeah. You will ungodly the friendship. So there is a part of, first of all, as a person, your salvation, your understanding the gospel, and as a resultant of that, you're wanting to grow. It influences the kind of people you want to surround yourself with. Yeah. And another thing is that you can always pray to God for people that spur you on. Yes. And if you feel like your current friends are not spurring you on, you can be the one to spur them on. So you can suggest, let's attend this program. You see a program that is of blessing. Instead of you going alone, try to drag one of them along, just like the way they will drag you for maybe anything else that they are also interested in. So you can be that source of will I say spiritual awakening for your friends. If you listen to a sermon, send to them. If they don't want to listen, tell them what you learned about it. Just that opening up your friendship to talk about spiritual matters. I think that it's generally a good thing. And generally, I like to believe that, not that I like to believe, I know that the desire for God is a desire that everybody has, even if they do not express it the way you think that they should express it. And for some people, it is that they have questions. For some people, it is that they just want a relationship with God. But really, most times, when you trust God to help you, if you feel like your friendship is not there yet, or you don't feel like your friendships are godly friendship, you can trust God to help you to be that godly one in there to support them, except they are people that are bent on going the wrong direction, and there's a need to separate yourself from them so that you are not drawn in their own direction.
Yes. Actually, and as she has actually said most of the things that I had on my mind. Well, like being that person will also, like, you don't know, like we're all influencing, something is influencing us and we're also influencing other people. So you being that person can also be like the influence that they need to be pushed into doing what it is that they need to do, per spirituality, per intellect, per academics and all that. So any rounding of thoughts or words?
Okay, for me, I remember a part of a book that I read about friendship. Whenever I think of the topic of friendship and like spiritual friendship, I really think about that book because it was significant in forming my idea and ideology on it. It's Firebrand by DDK, and third chapter she talked about firebrand friendship. She used the example of Elizabeth and Mary and how that Mary was going to give birth to the savior of the world, but then she had an auntie or someone that she knew that had a supernatural birth, so even though it was not the son of God, and she went to her to connect with her, and after I read that book, I really prayed for a while about my friendship, and now when I look back, I feel like God really did answer that prayer, and I'm grateful for it. But I also think that generally there's also even a part of opening up yourself to associations.
Exactly.
That is not like, you do not exactly have to even be my friend to be of to influence my spiritual life. I can just be looking at you
from afar
and be blessed and be challenged and all of that. And I think that sometimes too, when people listen to this kind of podcast, they think of, oh, my friends are not spiritual, let me change them and look for the spiritual ones. But I don't think that, except they are
like on the contrast, very wild.
I really don't think that should be your first thought. Your first thought is, okay, for example, sharing this podcast with them, okay, I listen to this and I feel like, maybe we can do more about our spiritual life. How about maybe we keep ourselves accountable, or you share what you learn in church, something like that. Don't always feel like you have to go out there to get the spiritual friends. They can be the people that are around you. Let it be that God uses you.
True.
Don't always be looking for people that God can use for you. You can also be the one that God can use for others. You can also be the one that God will use to spur others on.
Actually.
So this is not just a podcast to say that, oh, abandon all your friends.
They are not spiritual enough.
4 hours every day. Because even myself, I'm not praying 4 hours every day. So that is not what this podcast is about. This podcast is about recognizing that your friends are of immense importance and influence to you. And one way that they can be of help to you is in your spiritual life. And if you currently have friends that you feel like they are not doing that, you can pray for them, and you can also be the one that brings that element of spirituality
that you are looking for
into that your friendship, and then pray to God that God helps them too. So I think that's all I have to say.
Actually, and also being that person. We've talked about being the right friend, because every time we're always putting the name on other people. Be the friend. I don't have, like, you just, like, there are sometimes like you just have this moment of self-peace. I don't have friends, but like, be that friend. Like, take on the responsibility of you being that person, because most times I think we always like just give the responsibility to other people. I don't have friends, I don't know where to find them. Be that person, be that friend. And also, like, by being that person, you'll be shocked at how, like, other people, the people that you want around you, will just naturally or just navigate towards you. So I hope we have been able to convince you and not confuse you that you should have good friends, and you should be the person. Be that person. Have the right influences around you. You don't have to have, like, the most spirit, like, have that person that prays 10 hours a day, and, like, you don't the one that does not pray 10 hours a day. You can even be the one that starts praying 10 hours a day. Your friend will follow you to be praying 10 hours a day. But then I will be able to fully convince you and not confuse you that you
should have godly friends, and you should be that godly friend to those around you.
Yes. Okay. So till next time on the podcast. Bye-bye.